Welcome to the Party Starters podcast with me, Kane Towning.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Hello people and welcome to the Party Starters podcast with me, Kane Towning. This guest massively blew up in the SoundCloud era. He was one of the first to use the SoundCloud platform to promote his mixes, and they literally blew up overnight, propelling him from a resident club DJ to a touring DJ, getting bookings all across the UK and massively increasing his fee. He has since gone on to sell out his own headline shows at O2 Academies and more recently started releasing music into the charts where he's seen a lot of success. Like all my guests, he has laid the foundations to get to that point, grinding it out in the clubs and spending a lot of summers abroad in Zante. He is very much the Zante king and knows all about working abroad, how to DJ abroad. So anyone looking to do that, you're going to learn a lot from this guy. He is genuinely one of the nicest people I have met in the industry, really humble, and he opens up a lot in this interview. So welcome to the Party Starters podcast, Nathan Dawe. Nathan Dawe, how are we doing?
I'm not too bad, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you very much for doing this. Much appreciated.
No worries, man. Thank you for getting me involved.
Right, so let's just get straight into it, Nath. I want to know, what is your single best piece of advice for people wanting to make it in the music and nightlife industry? What do you really value? What do you live your life by? What has helped you get to where you are?
Obviously, you get asked this a lot, and I feel like the answer I give probably annoys people because everyone wants quick success. But the one thing I'll always say is it's just you've got to set the foundations and you've got to be prepared to put a long time of effort and work into your craft. I started DJing at 10. I'm 25. I've only really seen success for the past 4 or 5 years. So 10 years of flying in the rain and putting events on and DJing christenings and birthdays and weddings have all given me the experience and then the drive to better myself. And you can't buy experience. It's, a lot of my experience I've gained has helped me make right decisions across the past 4 or 5 years. So I think it's just got to be persistent, hard work and not giving up. And I do hate saying that because it is a bit cliche and you think, oh, can't you give me some more better tips and pointers when I'm talking to people? But for me, that's just what's worked. So that's the only thing I can really advise.
Yeah, no, it is a common theme that I'm hearing with everyone, that you've got to lay them foundations, and people looking in from the outside just see Nathan Dawe playing at all these amazing shows and selling out O2 Academies and doing his own headline shows. But the foundations, like you've just said, you've been at it since 10 years old. That's some serious foundation,
man. It's literally like I said, I did my school discos when I was like 11. I did all my mates' birthday parties, and then I became the DJ in my small town where any event that was going, you book Nath, which was great, but I just could not break out of my little town, which is Burton-on-Trent. I couldn't get into Derby, I couldn't get into Tamworth, Birmingham. No one interested. I must have sent literally thousands of emails to clubs all over the country and just never got a reply. Never ever got a reply. And to go from that to what we're doing now is insane. But that's just because I just didn't give up, and I just kept thinking, if I keep my head down, keep doing what I know I need to do, one day I'll get chucked an opportunity, and as long as I take it, it'll be all right.
Definitely. And you heavily DJ'd abroad. It was Zante where you first kicked things off, really. How did you get your foot in the door over there, and what was the decision on going to DJ abroad, and what advice have you got to people wanting to go DJ abroad? A lot of the people that I'm speaking to, again, have kind of honed their skills abroad. I did a season in Kos when I was 16, and the stuff I learned from doing that season has stayed with me throughout. How to read a crowd, how to play long sets, how to vary my music. So I definitely recommend going to do a season abroad. And how do people go about doing that?
I think everyone's different. For me, I went on holiday. It must have been 2011, maybe 2012. I went on a lad's holiday to Zante. Some guy pulled us over on the street, sold us a boat party ticket. We went on the boat party, loved it. My mates were saying to the promoter, like, yo, Nave's a DJ, Nave's a DJ. And the promoter was like, yo, jump on if you want. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I was a bit nervous. But I kept in touch with the promoter. And then all year I was just badgering him. Because I thought, you know what, I fancy going out and doing a summer abroad. Because at the time I was just doing resident work on a Friday and Saturday. Kept badgering him, probably annoyed him a lot. And in the end, he was like, look, just send me a mix, mate. So I sent him a mix. He was like, nah, I don't like it. It's not what the boat wants. I thought, oh, no, like, no chance. So I went on his profile and I was researching like the tunes that they put on their promotional videos, the songs that I've heard on videos that he's put on, songs that he liked as a person. And I put another mix together and went, just give me another shot. And he went, all right, that's pretty cool. Like, he liked the next mix. So he said, look, he goes, you can pretty much have the job, obviously dependent on how good you perform when you're out here, but book your flight and come out. So I booked my flight. It was, you know, a lot of people ask me how you made that decision, because you've got to think of things. I was worried about little silly things like laundrettes and how am I going to cook and eat and things. So it was quite mad. I left on my own, didn't know anyone, went there. I was with a guy sharing a room called Owen, who's actually now the Stickmen. Do you know them?
The
Stickmen, the duo. Yeah. So the drummer from that, Owen, I actually ended up sharing a room with in Zante, which is quite mad, really, because we've both done well since. And we did the boat together. He was doing the drums, I was doing the DJing, and it just worked really well. And then I thought I need to get some club work, because I can't just do the boat party every week, because it's once a week. So I walked into the first club that I saw, which was Plus Club, because it was the biggest one. I thought I may as well aim high and then go down to like a small bar. So I went straight into the main club and just goes, where's the owner? He was like, it's me. I was like, I'm a DJ from the UK. I probably gassed myself up to make him think I was like Tiesto or something. But I was just saying, I've DJ'd all over the place. I can play in front of thousands of people. Like, I'm really good on the mic. I've never touched the mic at this point. And kind of, you know, gave it a bit of a London Cockney swag to it, and just goes, just give me a chance, mate. Just give me a chance and I won't let you down. And he goes, come tomorrow for a trial. Did the trial, and straight after he was like, staff loved it. It was the busiest night we've had in a while. You like, start tomorrow. So within a couple of days, I've got an unreal boat party and like 5-6 nights a week at one of the biggest clubs. So I was thinking, this is amazing. And I think that was just down to me fully coming out of my comfort zone, fully, because I'm not like that. Like, you know me, I'm not shy, but I'm quite a quiet geezer. I just like get on with things. And like, for me to just go on my own and then find my own work and talk to people I've never met before and live with people I've never met, was definitely out of my comfort zone. But it made me grow up, and I learned so much. Like you've just said, I never touched a microphone pretty much before Zante. I was on the mic every night for like 4 months. And I come back from Zante a much better person, a much better DJ, because I was DJing every night of the week for like 7 hours a night, much better on the mic. And at the first couple of years, I didn't build my name. It was just, I was just gaining the experience of becoming a good resident DJ. And then from then on, I started building my name, like, by being always known to be out in Zante. But that's kind of how my journey happened, as to how I managed to go from just being a resident DJ to getting a chance abroad, and then taking it and making it a thing.
Yeah, definitely. I think the chance meeting you had on the boat party with the promoter, stuff like that happens regular abroad, because you know, these resorts are quite small, and if you can do a decent job, it's quite easy to pick up work. There's loads of bars, there's loads of venues, there's loads of clubs, and they're all looking for the DJs. So
they are, but I think like it is key as well. I'm seeing this trend a lot where DJs that want to do abroad are rocking up like mid-June, trying to get a job so they can do like the peak 6 weeks and then go. And I had to go out end of April, because I wanted to make sure I was the first DJ at the best club possible. I did, like, you can't expect to come halfway through a season, because you can't be bothered to do all the boring sets and then think you're gonna land an amazing residency. It just doesn't work like that. They've already got the DJs lined up. So I think a good point is, for DJs that definitely want to give it a crack and have a go at DJing abroad, is you need to get there a bit early, sometimes a week before the season even starts. I got there before the clubs even opened to make sure that the minute that was open, I was the first DJ walking through his door. And, you know, all these little things help.
And I see a lot of DJs that get too caught up with the resorts. So they'll be literally, you know, get stuck in Zante or Malia for the rest of their life. And when they get back to the UK, they struggle to get gigs. How did you combat that? How did you then turn what you was doing in Zante and the abroad stuff to benefit you in the UK? How did you get the gigs in the UK off the back of that?
I mean, luckily when I was like a resident DJ, I had really good like bosses that I was working for. And
in the UK?
In the UK. So when I would go and do a summer season, they'll be like, Nath, go and enjoy it. Your job's here when you get back. And it was like, I would come back and the job would be there. So it was literally an easy transition for me, which I know is not the case, because a lot of people ask me and say, my residency said, if I go to Zante, there's no job for me when I get back. Is it worth the risk?
That's
and I'm like, you know, if I got told that, maybe I wouldn't have took the risk. Maybe I would, I don't know. But thankfully, I think it's the way you explain it as well. If you just say, right, I'm going Zante, you know, can I have my job back? It's if you've got a good relationship with the boss and you're performing well as well, and you're putting effort in, you're doing, you know, extra shifts and, you know, just making more of an effort than your bog standard DJ, I think they'll be more lenient with you. And, you know, it's just a conversation, you know, person to person. I kind of explained my reasons for why I wanted to go. If it didn't work, I was going to come straight back, and they were cool and it worked. So in the resident days, it wasn't too bad. I was quite lucky with how it fell. But then one year I came back and my club that I used to work at got shut down because there was a lot of violence going on in the place, and eventually the license got taken off them. So I came back and I was thinking, crap, like I haven't got any work. And then I got some work at another bar, but it was nowhere near enough money. It was like £80 a week I was getting. At this point, I was like 21 years old. I was thinking £80 a week ain't going to do me very well. And I thought, here's my moment. I need to really, really take this serious and try and get to the next level. So that's when I started doing SoundCloud mixes. And obviously at the time, they were big, but there wasn't hardly anyone. The only guy I can think of at the time was Rusky, that was doing bits, and that was kind of it from what I can remember anyway. And then I know like Max Denham used to smash it, but that was probably a bit before I got into the SoundCloud mixes. And then I started doing mixes online and they were doing all right, but people kept telling me, like, you know, when you do a mix, you've got to choose a genre and do like an R&B mix or a hip hop mix or a bassline mix. But when I was DJing, like in Zante, and it was going off, I was playing everything. I was going like bassline, drum and bass, R&B, slow jam, and just like a mashup of just good music. But I was always in that mindset of, you can't do that in a mix. It's too like unprofessional. And then I remember one day when I was in Zante, I just thought, I'm just going to do a mix, pretend I'm on the boat, like, and just play as if I'm on the boat party. And I did. And it's the one that the mix I did was called Gold Edition 1, which is like my best mix stats wise. It's had like millions and millions of plays. Mm-hmm. And literally, it's when I speak it out loud, it always gives me goosebumps because I remember it. But I remember listening back to the mix and maybe thinking, it's not technically brilliant, but it's a really good selection of tunes. Let's just put it out. So I uploaded it on SoundCloud, and then I was in Zante, so I didn't have, at these times you couldn't get 4G, so you had to have just Wi-Fi. And I left my villa as soon as I uploaded it. We went to like a restaurant like half an hour away, and I was just thinking, I can't wait to get to the restaurant, get Wi-Fi and see the reaction. I used to get probably 10 tweets every time I released a mix, and they're mostly my mates. But I remember getting to this restaurant and turning my phone, like the Wi-Fi on, and it was just going like ping, 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 ping. And people I was with, I was going like, I couldn't get my words out. I was saying, I've had like 80 tweets in half an hour, and they didn't know what that meant. And I was like, no, I've had 80 like tweets in half an hour. I usually get 10 in a week. I was like, this mix is going off, and it literally snowballed. And wow. I just felt like, when I mentioned earlier in the podcast about when I get my opportunity, I'm going to take it. And this, I probably haven't said this actually in an interview, but as weird as it might sound, I remember like that night or the day after, like just catching myself in the mirror and just like saying, this is the moment you've always been waiting for. Like, you're not going out this summer, you're staying in and you are making mix after mix after mix. And, you know, there's no excuses. This is your moment. And I always remember that, because I really did then knuckle down, didn't go out, didn't go to the beach all summer. I was just working on artwork, branding, mixes, little tags like the Nathan Dawe dropping them bangers and stuff.
Yeah,
and kind of just put it all together, man. And then from that summer, which was 2015, I got my first booking come through, which was quite weird. I remember I got an email saying, like, we want to book you in Huddersfield. It was 5 Bar. I don't know if you've heard of the bar, but I was like, sick. I was like, mad, like, cool. And he was like, how much? I was thinking, I don't know, like 100 quid or something. I was like, I don't know, like, what's your budget? They come back, I think it was like 500 quid. I literally nearly fell over. I was thinking, £500? It's like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. Okay, so what times? Fully imagine them to say, like, 9 till 3, 6-hour set. It was like, whichever, mate, 1 till 2? I thought it was a wind-up. And yeah, we booked it in, 500 quid from 1 till 2. And I come back that summer from earning £80 a week to £500 an hour in the space of 2 months. It was mad, mate, like to kind of comprehend that when you think back. But it was the SoundCloud mixes and the online profile which gave me that platform to proceed from a resident DJ to making it more of a commercial across the UK brand.
And obviously the mashup of music on their mixes is what you learn from.
That's it, being different. Like, I think now the SoundCloud / Mixcloud industry is so diluted. I can't see anyone really creating a massive brand for themselves solely off that. Like, it's now moved to like live streams, Instagram TV, mashup videos. Like, the days of just doing a mix, in my opinion, without sounding too downbeat, are probably over for that. Like, it's all podcasting and stuff.
I completely agree. You know, you need to start thinking out of the box now, because especially SoundCloud, you know, it's pretty much done. The people that have had success of it have had it, and it's still a platform there that you've got to tick off, but you need to really get creative and think out of the box on what's coming next.
100%. Like, I think it's hard because people always ask, you know, they look at you as if you have the answers, and it's so frustrating because I would want to help as many. I'd write a book, like, if I could, and I knew the formula. But everyone that I spoke to that has had success have had different journeys. You've heard a bit of mine now, and I'm sure no one could say, oh, I had that exact same path, because everyone's had a different path. So it's all about trying to find your USP. At the time, mine was, I'm going to be the first DJ to bring out a mix that's a complete mashup of everything that's out right now, regardless of genres. And I was the first guy to do that. Now you've got to try and find a USP that is going to help you proceed in 2020, not 2014. Like, times have changed. Yeah.
And I think it's a case of the harder you work and the more you work, the luckier you will get. Because, you know, if you're working every day, you're going to stumble across your USP, or you're going to stumble across making a mashup mix that then propels you to do that. Whereas if you're not putting that graft in and you're not working, you're not moving forward.
I think you do create your own luck and your own chances. And there's no denying that. But 100%, like, I don't like it when people say, oh, that guy's been lucky. And I'm thinking, you don't know what that guy's journey's been. And I know people must look at things that I do and say, oh, Nathan Dawe got lucky. But like I say, they don't see the decade of relentless work you've put in. Some people would have put 2 years working and left. Some people would have put, 2 months working and thought, oh, no. But you have to put a long amount of years in to create luck and create a chance. And when you get it, you best take it.
Yeah, no, it was really nice to hear that, Nath. I appreciate you telling us that. Such a humble guy, a humble comment, looking yourself in the mirror and saying that, and then fucking action in it as well and manifesting that. That's amazing.
He was special, man. Yeah, it was.
Brilliant. Well, you have answered more than I could have asked you for. So I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. And
That's all good, man.
what is next for Nathan Dawe? I am excited to see. I know you've got started releasing singles now that you're doing really well, smashing the charts. Is that the direction you're going in now, releasing more music?
Yeah, I think about 3 years ago, or maybe yeah, just over 3 years ago, when SoundCloud was booming for me, I always plan ahead, and I thought this is not going to last forever, and there's going to be a point where people don't care about the mixes anymore, people get bored, and little did I know things like Spotify and Apple Music were going to boom, pretty much straight after I thought that, and kind of take the consumer away from that over to more playlisting stuff. And I thought I need to think ahead, and I thought the only option is to really get my head around the production and bring out tunes that I can actually release as a single. So once again, like I did when I put myself into a situation where I worked non-stop, we worked non-stop on that, worked with some amazing producers and guys that have taught me some unreal things. And we've brought out singles which Cheating did really well, got to like 87, I think it peaked at in the official chart. Then brought Repeat After Me out, which did well, not as well as Cheating, but still a great record, had millions of plays across all the platforms and got loads of radio play. And then obviously with Flowers, we actually had another song ready to go. And because we were so ahead of ourselves, we started making like bootlegs and remixes for my own sets. And Flowers was one of them. I just thought it's one of my favourite garage tracks. Let's give that a crack. And we actually were trying to make a bit of a bassy version. And then about 5 hours into the session, we all looked at each other and it was just like, this is sounding a bit too good to keep as a remix. So got Malika in, she vocaled it. Then I thought, if I am going to bring it out as a single, I want some more originality in it. It can't just be like a straight cover. So got Malika to do like an original post chorus, and then rang JK up, and he was just like, within 30 seconds, he went, I'm in, count me in. He did his verse in 48 hours. The tune was done in a week, and I was like, it all come together so natural. It just felt like you need to bring this out. So we did, and obviously it's number 20, 21 at the minute.
Boom.
Obviously a lot of charity singles have overtook us. We were 16 last week, but
16 in the charts.
16 official charts, yeah,
Wow,
last week, and then it's gone down to 21. There's a lot of Corona-related charity singles, which is great to see in the chart. So hopefully we can keep rising. So I think that's opened myself up now to a big commercial market. And like this podcast, I've been for 2 weeks just non-stop Zoom calls, doing interviews with tons of radio stations, and it's all new to me. Like I'm just getting used to it. And there's obviously a natural pressure there now to deliver on your next single. So we've got a few options. We've been hit up by some cool artists and labels that want to get involved, which is mad when like you're hearing the people they want you to work with, and I'm just thinking, what, little Nathan from Burton? Like, you want to work with me? It's mad.
On the pressure side, do you feel a lot of pressure? How have you dealt with all that? How have you adapted to becoming an artist? And is there any problems with that?
Naturally, you're gonna get a bit of pressure. It was when I had my other single ready before Flowers, I didn't really feel pressure because I thought we've hit like, I don't know what it was at the time, 5 million streams. I thought, okay, we can get that again. Like, there's not real amount of pressure on my shoulders. But now we're on, like, obviously all the radio station playlists in the UK, and it's such a commercially well-known song, and every interview you're having, all the radio stations are saying, what have you got coming next? We can't wait for your next record. There is definitely a lot of pressure. It's not affecting me yet, because I'm very confident that we've got a good few options sitting here that are really good records, and I'm really excited to bring them out. So I'm happy we've got the product in place as such. It's just now about nailing the timing and the promotion around it, and making sure it comes out and it's a good campaign, and people like it. But I'm quite confident that we'll do the best we can. It's then up to the gods to decide if they want to mess with it or not.
Yeah, no, you seem very very thought out, very planned. So thank you very much, Nath. Is there anything you want to add? Anything you want to leave our listeners with? Any final quotes, words of advice?
Yeah, all I'd say is if I was, looking back at myself now, I would obviously say don't give up. I think it is always good to have some sort of backup plan. Like I always thought, if it doesn't work for me, I'm going to be like a nightclub supervisor or manager. I wanted to do something in the events world, but I always had the mindset of there's only one option, and that's to be a successful DJ. And I think you just have to map out like a ladder and think, what do you need to do? Put your ultimate goal. For example, I want to DJ at Ushuaia or Ibiza, just for example. If that's your like all-time goal, and then work back from that and think, what do I need to do to get to that ring, that ring, that ring, that ring? And that's what I did. And I just started small steps. I thought, make a name for myself in my hometown, try and branch out to the closest city, bring out SoundCloud, try and DJ abroad, and all these levels you had to achieve before you reached your ultimate goal. So I think that's it. Like, have a dream, write it down, and then build back from that, all the little steps you need to take, and then get on your ladder. Don't give up. Don't look at other DJs and think, oh, they're smashing it, they're doing this, I'm never going to get to that point. I've got years to go. Because everyone's journey is different. People can put one mix out like me. They can put a mashup video out. They can put a viral video out. And within 2 months, they're being booked for ridiculous money and they're a household name. So just keep working, keep focused, be realistic with your dreams, but also have an ultimate aim in sight, and just be an all-round nice person, because I think nice people always win.
You are the ultimate nice guy, Nath. You are.
No, thank you, man.
Yeah, really, really humble guy. And it is true. Hopefully this podcast will see that people haven't just exploded overnight. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of steps. It's climbing that ladder to your goal. So just keep at it.
100%, man.
Welcome to the Party Starters podcast with me, Kane Towning.
I know you're gonna dig this.